Good evening, everyone. Right now is 6:07 p.m. Good evening, everyone. Right now is 6:07 p.m. Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. Roll call, please.
Yes, Mayor Top,
Here.
Vice Mayor Nguyen,
Here.
Councilmember Doe,
I'm here.
Councilmember Ho,
Here.
and Councilmember Manzo.
Here.
Okay, all members are present.
Thank you so much. And now the meeting is in order. So any public comments?
Okay, I did not receive any requests to speak earlier, but at this time, if anybody would like to speak for public comments, please raise your hand. Okay, so we have first speaker is Samuel.
Hi, is my audio working?
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. My name is Samuel Timothy, and I live in Fountain Valley. I grew up in Westminster, and I'm proud and very happy to call it my home for over 20 years. I still work there and shop there to this day. I have, in fact, right now I have 3 generations of family who live in Westminster. So also, as of today, I have been married to the amazing love of my life, Sarah, for 2 years. I'm very excited. It's our anniversary. Now, the reason I'm here is I heard about Measure 5.5 for putting up a pride flag.
Oh, sorry. So this part of public comments is just for items on our closed session. So if you'd like, so if you'd like to speak about 5.5, you'll have to log back in at 7, and so there will be a public comment part.
Got it. I thought, I'm so sorry. I thought things had gotten sooner. I was just surprised I was even able to view this. I was like, wow, did the closed session go fast?
Not a problem. So yeah, just feel free to come back after, a little after 7 p.m.
All right. Good collection. Sorry about the timing. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Okay. So next speaker is Terry Rains.
Good evening. There are many serious issues related to Tyler Dipp's contract for you to discuss tonight, including flushing out the city attorney's role in this fiasco. Also consider, please, number 1, when asked why Dipp was paid for a full month prior to the final execution of the contract, the city manager's response was, quote, "This is normal with all contracts when we have minor irregularities to clean up in the contract, and this was the case. The contract was first signed on March 23rd, but it had some typos and Dipp's social security was listed. We cleaned that up and we rerouted the contract for signatures on April 29th, 2021, end quote. Mr. City Manager, this is not normal with all contracts, and your response is troubling. You and the city attorney must assure all city contracts are clean and properly executed prior to any work commencing. Number 2, there is conflicting compensation language in the contract. Section 2.1 states in part, consultant's total compensation shall not exceed $7,000 per month, which equates 87.5 hours. Yet Exhibit B states in part, consultants shall work a maximum of 20 hours per week and a maximum of 80 hours per month. The city's manager's response to this was, quote, "Usually in the first month of a contract, the consultant spent more time to get things going, and that justified getting the max not to exceed 7,000. The second month charge was 6,400. Had the contract continued, the monthly amount would have not been more than 6,400. This is also normal for new contracts like this. More time is spent at the beginning. The difference is only $600 and is equivalent to 7.5 hours, and the contract allows for that," end quote. Mr. City Manager, this is also not normal. Conflicting language in a document is never normal. If a consultant is to be paid a one-time extra fee for a contract startup, that must be clearly spelled out in the document, and it is not. You need to find a new normal that complies with basic contract law. Number 3, section 2.3 states in part, each invoice shall describe in detail the services performed, the date of performance, and the associated time for completion. Yet Mr. Dipp submitted 2 invoices with no hour itemization, and the city manager approved payment anyway. His response was, quote, "Had the contract continued, that itemization would have been the case. From the weekly reports submitted, I can tell that 20 hours, if not even more, were spent getting the info." Oh my God, that is merely your opinion, Mr. City Manager, not fact. A DIP should not have been paid until he provided the required invoice detail under this section. Number 4, section 5.4 states in part, consultants shall provide to city certificates of insurance showing the insurance coverages and required endorsements described above in a form and content approved by the city prior to performing any services under this agreement. Yet DIP did not obtain and submit the required certificates of insurance until well into April, but the city paid him for that entire month anyway, plus the extra 7.5 hours. Number 5, section 6.9 states in part, consultants shall secure at its sole expense and be responsible for any and all business licenses in connection with the services to be performed hereunder. Yet we are already established that Mr. DIP does not have a business license with the city in his name or TD Strategies. He has not filed an active FBN statement with the county, and alternatively, his company is not registered as a corporation or LLC with the state. We have further established that Mr. DIP did not obtain and submit an EIN number to the city until April 29th, yet he was paid for that entire month. Number 6, section 6.14 states in part, consultant will comply with all conflict of interest statutes of the state of California applicable to consultants' services under this agreement, including but not limited to the Political Reform Act. Section 87406B2 of the Act states in part, a member of the legislature for a period of 1 year after leaving office shall not for compensation act as an agent or attorney for or otherwise represent any other person by making any formal or informal appearance or by making any oral or written communication before the legislature, any committee or subcommittee thereof, any present member of the legislature or any officer or employee thereof, if the appearance or communication is made for the purpose of influencing legislative action. The city manager stated DIP is a lobbyist, and the first and last bullet on Exhibit A's scope of services appear to also violate this law. Furthermore, DIP is employed by the county's 5th district supervisor, but Westminster is in the 1st district, thereby creating a potential conflict of interest and or competing interests for funding opportunities, etc. I know I'm out of time with plenty left to say on this matter, but with the city attorney's guidance, I urge you to deem this contract illegal, invalid, demand DIP return the $7,000 he was paid for April, and not issue payment for May services. Furthermore, the city must clean up its entire contract drafting and execution process to protect the taxpayers' interest. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And then we have one more speaker, Jody Boyd. Jody.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I don't usually attend these earlier closed session meetings, but I felt very compelled to this evening. I want to also echo Terry's comments and the complete impropriety of entering into this consultancy contract. And one of the things that I have been speaking about for as long as I have been attending city council meetings and speaking with council members and citizens, that is transparency. You are here to do the people's business. Again, if you look at the city's very own organizational chart, you all ultimately report up to the people. We are on the top of the organizational chart, not you. So we, the people, demand absolute transparency and honesty from our elected officials. And it is just mind-boggling, and I will never, ever believe, given the close ties of Tyler Dipp, the mayor, and Charlie, back to Van Tran, I will never in my life believe that the mayor and Charlie had absolutely no idea that the city manager, our new city manager, was planning to hire Tyler. I can't for the life of me imagine that you did not know that or catch wind of it. And I'm really upset with our city attorney. We, the people, rely upon you, sir, to help make sure that everything is legal and above board in the best interest of the people in all contracts and doings at City Hall. This contract, I don't know who wrote it, but I think a college intern could have done better. And I think you, Mr. City Attorney, owed it to the people and the mayor and the members of City Council to make sure that everybody was aware, and this could have been done legally in closed session, of a contract that was in the works, and let them weigh in whether they felt that we really needed and should have consulting services from Tyler Deep, somebody who, as Terry mentioned, legally could not even enter into this contract. So right now I am upset and I am ashamed. And all I ask is that we can do so much better in transparency, and you report to us, the people. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I have a Hung Trin. I'm not sure if this is going to be related to closed session, so let me find out. Hung Trin. Hung Trin. Nope. Can't get him to unmute. So I don't.
All right, if we don't have any more speakers, so we go to have a close section then.
Okay, so at this time for closed session, I'm going to move everybody into a holding. We will lock the meeting, and then once closed session is done, we will unlock that meeting. So just give me a second. Sorry, there are a lot of people to put on hold today. So this is for Mary Smith, Nam Chu, and Van HT. I can't put you guys on hold. So I'm actually going to remove you from the meeting, and at 7 o'clock, you'll just have to log back in. So bear with me. Ooh. Once you're okay, so never mind. So Mary Smith and Nam Chu, if you could actually leave the meeting, because if I remove you, you won't be able to come back in. So if you just leave the meeting and then come back at 7. Hey, Roger, if you can hear me, I can't remove you from the meeting. It'll lock you out, but if you could just sign out and then come back at 7, because we're gonna start the closed session part. And I don't want to prevent you from coming back to the main meeting. If Namchu, Mary Smith, if you guys don't remove yourself, I'm gonna have to remove you and then you won't be able to come back. Okay. Removing. And double checking one last time that this is everyone for closed session.
Is Abby supposed to be on there?
No, I've already. Nope. There should be 8 of us.